the husband of one of my close friends, recently uncovered the hidden Discord profile we had been using to stay in touch. She's enduring physical beatings and deliberate starvation, with no escape route available. Our friend remains trapped in a deeply controlling and violent marriage, unable to depart because doing so would mean abandoning her children. And she's genuinely uncertain whether he might turn his aggression toward the kids if she left. He forbids her from holding a job, restricts her outings to only essential grocery runs, denies her access to his vehicle, and keeps all finances out of her reach, so she can't accumulate savings for something like her own transportation. Whenever she's not actively scrubbing the house or preparing meals, he inflicts punishment. His cruelty follows a calculated pattern. Strikes are always delivered to areas concealed by clothes, and never with sufficient force to cause lasting visible harm or permanent injury. He remains fixated on maintaining the facade of a charming, devoted family provider in front of everyone else, even his relatives. He goes so far as to deny her portions of her own meals, claiming she hasn't earned them due to any imperfection in household cleanliness, leaving her perpetually famished, yet forced to steal small bites whenever his attention wanders. The shift to remote work during the pandemic allowed him to exploit the situation fully, keeping her firmly under surveillance. He's present nearly constantly, monitoring her movements to block any moments of relaxation or compel endless tasks. The sole opportunity she gets for solitude arrives when he sleeps, resulting in chronic exhaustion from lack of rest. She lacks any genuine local network, no true friends nearby, and returning to her own relatives isn't feasible since she's the oldest child in an overcrowded household where her parents already struggled with too many dependents. Although he refrains from physically harming the children, they have grown up witnessing his repeated mistreatment of their mother. I've urged her multiple times to dial emergency services, but she refuses, explaining that even if he faced arrest, which seems unlikely given how poorly the system addresses such cases, she doubts she'd receive reliable spousal or child maintenance payments. I'm unfamiliar with the details of the U.S. legal framework to confirm or dispute that concern. She worries that summoning help would leave her homeless alongside 2 young children, without wheels or employment. She's also convinced that her long employment hiatus would limit her to low-paying roles barely above entry-level wages. I live too far away to visit, assist directly, or provide temporary housing. The only support I've managed is sending small amounts of cash she can hide for potential future use. Right now, my grim outlook is that the violence might cease only when her oldest child grows strong enough to intervene physically against his father, assuming the boy doesn't mirror his dad's behavior. After all, her husband's own upbringing involved an abusive parent, and see the cycle repeating. Today brought alarming updates from her profile. I'm sorry, everyone, I have to confess I'm not a decent human being. I've been dishonest due to my compulsion for gaming and unhealthy snacks. I'm self-centered and have secretly gone against my husband to indulge in those things. I've fabricated stories about him and misled all of you about every detail I've shared. He's actually a wonderful man who never warranted any negative words. I never merited your kindness or generosity, so I'll repay every cent you've given me at the earliest opportunity. I'll remain online briefly to confirm you've all read this and understand the reality, that I'm an awful deceiver. Then I'll remove this account entirely and dedicate myself to repairing what I can for my husband and his relatives. Please don't reach out anymore. I simply wish to be left in peace so I can finally act properly. I'm replying only to insist you stop disparaging my husband. He's done nothing wrong. Truly, your belief in my words doesn't concern me because it changes nothing. Just exclude him from criticism and refrain from speaking ill of him. This is entirely my wrongdoing, and I refuse to allow anyone to badmouth him further. To provide context, I'm in Canada and largely unfamiliar with U.S. legal nuances. The rest of our group chat friends are exploring possible actions too, and we figured posting on Reddit might broaden the help available. Edit, prior to this discovery, he was unaware of the Discord setup. He frequently inspected her phone for questionable apps, so whenever she needed to connect with us, she'd install it temporarily and erase it before resting. I suspect he either spotted her using it or found traces, perhaps assuming the holiday gatherings would keep him occupied. Throughout the day, he stays close during any calls, forcing her to end them if she utters anything displeasing. We researched several domestic violence support groups. One advised against involving police entirely, but we felt compelled otherwise. Child Protective Services accepted our concerns, as did law enforcement, who performed a safety visit but concluded she appeared all right and the children were unharmed. Update 1. With authorities proving ineffective, I recalled how her husband assigns her the task of handling all incoming mail, viewing it as bothersome. My initial plan was to send an unmarked envelope containing details and helpline contacts for regional and countrywide abuse support services. We also reached out to an emergency phone assistance line for domestic crises, and they indicated plans to coordinate with a nearby group to supply her a fresh device. Status still pending. Her sibling got back to us and accepted our account as credible. Apparently, the family had quietly worried about mistreatment but lacked full details. We mentioned our doubt that responders questioned her separately from him during the check-in, and her sister shared similar skepticism toward police. The sister passed along their mother's details, and we shared a secure folder link containing captured conversations where our friend described the mistreatment, allowing her mom to review them whenever needed. Sadly, that prompted our friend to message one of us angrily via voice, then text on Discord. With increased family interaction lately plus the recent inspection, her husband grew more vigilant. She essentially demanded we back off, emphasizing her responsibilities to her household and threatening legal action if we persisted in involving relatives. She repeatedly claimed her own dishonesty, praised her husband as blameless and kind, and vowed to improve for everyone's sake. Clearly, he's coerced her with frightening claims about becoming destitute or losing the children. And the lawsuit warning originates from him. She previously admitted ignorance about custody or support rights, so this sudden assertiveness seems implausible. We updated her mother on these new messages, and she acknowledged understanding, assuring us she'd handle matters moving forward and appreciating our efforts to alert the family. Our connection with her might be permanently broken. My final note to her warned that any prior neck compression raises the odds of him killing her by roughly 750%. Evidently, that struck a nerve, as he interjected harshly to cease. Subtle shifts in her phrasing revealed his influence. Reconciliation seems possible only if she reaches out someday via fresh means after significant separation. Hopefully, her relatives can break through. We've exhausted our options, and your input proved invaluable. Thank you sincerely for the guidance.